So Jacques Celliers joins me today. He is the CEO of FNB, which is taking strides to create more employment opportunities in an effort to retain higher critical skills in the country. So Jacques, just by way of background, can you just tell me about yourself and your background, how you got to FNB?
Nadya, thanks, and thanks for the listeners. Well, I mean, personally, I'm from Stellenbosch University, and spent a few years in engineering space myself before transitioning into sort of the financial services sector. And I think at the time, it was when it was the year 2000 actually, since I joined FirstRand. And I think the excitement for me personally was just to see how much relevance an engineering skill set, or I guess all alternative and non-traditional finance skills have had in participating in a very exciting transition for financial services as a broader sector. So delighted that so many other people to participate now. So it's a very exciting time.
And can you just explain the topic of brain drain? Because that's what FNB is trying to avoid.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's not a secret that sort of our country certainly over the years have had a challenge to firstly develop talent across the sectors, and then secondly retain the talent. And what is very special about our country is that we have and actually our continent has got such opportunities and such an excitement, in many of the topics, which actually are in many ways we executed sort of world-leading ways of doing things. If you take mobile banking and just how we're using fintech and secure tech and reg tech and all of the ones that we need in our industry. So whether you apply engineering or technology or quant skills at finance or at mining or at agriculture or at sort of the tourism sectors, there's such an application for all these type of skill sets, and clearly need those skills, and it's great. There are so many opportunities. It's just that important we will make them visible. People can see it and they can experience it. 20 years ago, I don't think a quant would have said there's a great opportunity. There's a great opportunity in banking, and nowadays it's important that we position our opportunities and that exposed to them. Look, we can't force people to stay, but as Luke to explain, people are excited about these things and an opportunity to shine and sort of purpose to their lives. That's our role, So and it makes it easier for us to manage our businesses. The better chance we have at our communities have.
And so we have a columnist at BizNews, Nimoler, and he wrote a third open letter to President Ramaphosa in which he added up all of the tax that he pays, which amounts to 70% of his annual income. So on this basis, what reasons do you think people have to stay here?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go into all the sort of reasons. People all have different purposes in life. Our job, clearly, as it relates to sort of adding some services, as it relates to our offering in the market. I mean, these are really, really exciting, and if there's some talent that everyone is looking for something to do that could make a meaningful difference, then these are great times. When we started our careers, I think that the opportunity to shine was, I think our tool sets were quite outdated. If you think about how long it took you to climb a career and to ultimately try and get into some impact roles. In today's execution technology around, I mean, you really can add a tremendous space of time. Our challenge is just opportunity for people. I think the days of people wanting to work forever in a specific sort of area, even if it's or one business or one industry, over walk in, have an impact, make a difference. And I think the talent of today are looking for opportunities to make a difference. Now, whether that application is into solving for climate issues, for financial services issues, or for developing infrastructure, make society function better. I mean, these are all unbelievable things, you know. And if you stand back after having spent something that I think people all know that you want to have made a difference. Money certainly is one of them, you know, and with that consequence of taxes and all this stuff. But I don't think that's, for many people, as you build your careers, you know, ultimately the only driver. People, and we're looking for those type of people to come have its challenge. You know, there's certainly, you know, just when you're on top of something, you know, might be faced with something else that you didn't actually see happen. But what we found over the last year, certainly as the pandemic hit us, innovation that this again unleashed. The sort of challenges that a society faces are great opportunities for innovation and magic. And some of it sometimes is new industries and things, and other times it's just refreshing what we're busy with. You know, like think about financial services specifically, just the role it plays in enabling communities and societies. You know, whether it's responding to riots or pandemics, you know, in the health matters or electricity shortages and outages. These are real things, right? And it's great to be in a business and in a country where you can actually make a difference. And that ultimately is a holistic value prop that we bring to people.
All right. And so, I mean, after the looting and the civil unrest in July, lots of young people that I know that weren't interested in immigration before started actually thinking about it. So if you were in your early 20s now and you had an opportunity to immigrate, would you go or would you stay?
It's a very interesting question. I mean, I finished my engineering. That was the year when sort of change of power happened. And I remember that many of the similar conversations were, you know, like, should we stay, should we go? And some of our friends went and some of our friends stayed. And I think what has been decades later, if I look at the journeys people, then I think, you know, sort of, you know, in the early 20 phase that people are in, is those are not the years that you need to select your destination forever, right? I mean, I think your 20s to 30s are years that you are the years that you can see the world. Those are the years that you work in different countries, and you mustn't see those as big decisions around immigrating or not. Those are just, call them travel years, call them what they are, build your experience and go and do your thing. I think it's the challenge more sits in the brackets of 30 to 40s, where people really need to sort of be done, you know, their career and their destination options for where they feel that they can create that in their careers, you know, and that's a tougher call actually, the 30s to 40s. But I think then I stabilized in your business and your journeys, and you sort of get on with it, and by then you've created your foundations, you know. So unbelievably exciting times. What's great about our country is we deliver unbelievable universities. Our educational systems are the type of talent we recruit on an annual basis. Our universities, we are really impressed with the talent our country delivers. Our job as business is really to make sure that that talent has sandboxes to play with, you know, and have opportunities to go and shine and make careers and make out of having, you know, sort of participated in. And that's why we're investing so heavily in modernizing our, you know, the old traditional retail or commercial banking. We almost think of us as like this traditional retailer to an Amazon execution, or to an Uber execution, or, you know, the traditional for advice into the Googles of the opportunities of the. And that transition creates such an incredible of talent, experience, building, and then those credentials. Clearly, the world's your, you know, sort of elsewhere, but it's important to get stuck somewhere between, you know, get your hands into something, and that's what's so cool to be in a business. Talent to join us.
So what is FNB doing to create more of these sandboxes for the youth to go and play with?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very question. If you stand from the outside, you look into like the banks today have become such complex, sort of worlds. In our specific case, we are sort of four main streams of financial service sector. Banking activity, which is all the payments, and if you think about global excitement is in payments nowadays, then you've got insurance and how the whole traditional insurance business models are transitioning into this sort of platforming, sort of deep insurance, innovations, and you can see that around the world. Then you've got investments, which we've got tremendous, sort of investments, all the things from stockbroking and fund management and all the sort of the ways of planning and managing your financial affairs through life. I mean, it's just an incredible amount of innovation and product development going into, and distribution development going into that. And then we've got an additional component to us here clearly is credit, and credit is going through. So if you think about like trying to work on something, where is it? Are we an insurance business, or are we an investment business, or are we a credit? We've got all of those. Then on top of that, we have the consumer market and we have the business market that we try and satisfy. So if you're coming at it from a consumer lens or you're coming at it from a commercial lens, great innovations all over those. And then we've added lots of complexity around telecommunications and connectivity. We have an MVNO as well as FNB. So there's so much opportunity for talent to play in mobility in one organization. I mean, I joined FirstRand 20 years ago. I thought I was going to be here for a few months. And 20 years later, I'm still unbelievably passionate about that helping people navigate their lives, and helping them deal with their monies and anxiety of financial affairs. And, it's amazing. Think about even one product like a personal loan. That's a very relevant product, no matter whether you get divorced or get married, right? It's a different context and it's a different emotion in it. But it's these opportunities to really make a difference in people's lives, and financial services, leveraging financial services for that is an incredible opportunity.
And just to close off with, what would you say that young people could do to better equip themselves with critical skills, so that from their side they can avoid brain drain?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the thing for younger people is to firstly find a passion. So let's say your passion is, I don't know, the agric world. And then it ultimately is important because I mean, that passion, you can't, I mean, whether it's music or whether it's, it's just important to find passion. But today's execution, no matter what your passion is, requires a tremendous amount of understanding and appreciation for the role technology and engineering and data play in those things. You think how music is done today and how it's distributed, music it's almost like created, and you use technology and data a lot in producing the product. You still have to have a passion for music, but your way of producing the product and then distributing the product, those are the things that always change. This example you and I are experiencing today of let's call it sharing news. I mean, 20 years ago, this was like an unbelievable thing that you're still passionate about your topic of sharing news and writing stories, but the production and the distribution of these things are leveraging data a lot. So many people, I say, find a passion, and then I say, but make sure that you equip yourself with a proper understanding of what the role is of technology data. Uber is an example. Cars today, whether you come from the Uber app or producing the product, the Tesla product, these things are so integrated, and the world is very exciting as that plays out. So it's important to not lose sight of your passion, but then very importantly, equip yourself on all the modern tools and capabilities that'll actually help you shine, as opposed to being stuck in old ways. Even bankers way of doing banking, and there's a new way of doing banking, and we called financial services, but we must be very organizing our approach, not the what you do, it's the how you do it. That has really it's become exponential if we leverage technology and data better in how we develop products and deliver the distribution model.
It's great.